Welcome back, everybody, as we enter hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, also on Comcast Channel 6 if you're in Manchester, and hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Monday, October 23rd, 2023. Jenny is here at the news desk.
I am present and accounted for.
And joining us on the couch, and we just heard his track, Greatest Thing You've Never Seen, which I really, really like. Dakota Smart has joined us. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You got a cool name. Dakota's a cool name. I like that.
Thank you.
It's not like I've heard of other people named Dakota, but not very many. I think you're the first Dakota I've ever actually met in person. So
that's awesome.
I really like that song. Now, where did you record that?
So I recorded that in Nashville at Blackbird Studio.
Oh, somebody else was talking about Blackbird Studio on the show. We've had a few guests who've recorded in Nashville over the years. I think I remember somebody else talking about that. Now, did you go down there specifically to record that, or were you also doing some touring? Or
actually, so I went down to Nashville for a few reasons. I go back and forth, and one is so that I can get into writers' rooms and write with other writers to pitch songs to publishers and also to record. So this year, I went down there to record 10 songs. And that was one of them. And we also have a few that we're going to play in the air in a little bit.
Very cool. How long has that been out?
So I released Greatest Thing You've Never Seen on September 29th.
Okay.
So it's pretty.
Oh, so it's pretty new.
Yeah. And this is the first of all the songs that I've recorded in Nashville that have come out so far.
Oh, cool. Yep. Excellent. And can you tell us about the video? I see your name in the credits at the end. So it looks like you do a lot of that yourself.
Yeah, so the video was really cool. What we did is me and my girlfriend actually went and took my truck up to Lincoln, New Hampshire, and went through the Kangamangas and filmed the music video up there.
Yeah.
And we wanted something that was it really highlighted New Hampshire. You know, we wanted something that when you look at the video, you're like, man, that's what New Hampshire looks like.
Yeah.
Almost makes you want to just go and visit it, you know?
Yeah.
I like it.
So we did that, and she was filming it, and later on, I took all the videos and edited them and put it together.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Do you have other videos or just that one so far?
Yes. So I have a few videos that are out there of the stuff that is recorded from Nashville. This is the first one that I put out. I have edited the second one so far, but that one's not out yet.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that one too.
Yeah, cool. If you have any questions or feedback or anything at all for Dakota Smart, who is with us in studio, the phone line is open, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text us at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connerton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. And as far as, do you write everything yourself or do you collaborate with anybody?
So everything that I put out under my own name is entirely me. And I've been writing music since I was maybe about 10 years old.
Oh, no kidding.
But I really got serious with it when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I've been playing piano since I was 8. I started playing guitar when COVID hit as well. So a lot of the songs that you hear with guitar, one of these tracks actually that we'll play in a little bit called Killing It. That's a song that I play on guitar. And it's been a very new, recent thing for me playing guitar.
Really?
Yeah, and it's crazy because when COVID hit and I started playing guitar, my songwriting just advanced by leaps and bounds. And I think the reason why is it just gave me something to challenge myself.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I knew 3 chords on the guitar, I was already just writing songs.
Wow.
And I wrote a little over 100 songs in 2020.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it's just been crazy. I try to write. One of my biggest inspirations tell me that you should try to write something every day. Even if you don't finish it, just try to write something every day.
Yeah.
And that's why, so it's just been, song after song. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. And all the stuff that I put out under my own name, is me, 100%.
I noticed in the video because you mentioned playing piano and starting out on that. I in the video there's is that actually you in the video playing piano or is
Yes.
that, oh cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so. The beginning of that video, we actually went to one of my gigs and filmed me setting up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought was really interesting about it is like I wanted to show where I am as a musician right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wanted to show that, you know, everybody, you know, they come to the gig, they see you all set up, they see, you know, the lights, they see everything, you know, they don't usually see the setup and the breakdown
Right.
and that whole process. So I was like, man, I really want to show a little bit of like you're in the behind the scenes. You're somebody who's like coming to the show before anybody else. Like you're somebody who's helping set up to show just kind of the work that goes into it, even at this level.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be something really special to share with the audience.
Yeah. And the part where it's a kid playing piano, is that actually you?
Yes.
That's actual.
Yeah, those are older videos of me playing piano.
Oh, that's cool.
Aw, that's nice.
Is it this might be a little bit of a nerdy question, but is it difficult to the process of, because I assume those were old, like what, VHS tapes of you?
Actually, no. So those are man, I gotta remember. My mom, she's, you know, over the years, she's been taking videos of me playing and performing, and she's, you know, my mom's my biggest fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And she, I think that was like on an old camcorder.
No
I want to
kidding.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, you know, I just got a new laptop just recently.
Yeah.
And we ended up taking that video and putting it on the laptop. So, you know, beforehand I couldn't do anything with it, but
Yeah.
you know, after putting it on the laptop, it's like, oh, it's actually here. I can do something with it.
That's what I was curious about, if it's difficult to do that.
I think I think beforehand it would have been, but
Yeah.
you know, this year we've like been going through all the memories and all the kind of stuff that we videotaped, and we're like, hey, we want to use some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just having this sit like in the vault forever,
Right.
let's take some of this stuff out and see what we can do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the inspiration for that song, The Greatest Thing You've Never Seen?
So the funny thing about Greatest Thing You've Never Seen is that the first verse and chorus of it, I wrote within maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes one night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why. I'm usually up at 1 o'clock in the morning because that just seems to be the time when my brain is like,
Yeah.
oh, it's time to write a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I think this song really speaks to musicians, but I also wanted it to speak to the everyday person, because I feel like everybody's like, they have a goal, they have a dream, they have something that they're working towards, and it feels like a lot of the times, you know, 90% of the work nobody sees. And I really wanted something that could just relate to those people, or really to anybody on the level where it's like, hey, you have these dreams, you have so much that you do in the background, and I kind of wanted to bring all in the background
Sorry about that.
and you know, kind of show that.
Yeah.
Another thing is too, the next, you know, I finished the first verse and the first chorus, and then I started, you know, showing friends and family, and I got the advice that, hey, why don't you make the second verse a little bit more about, you know, your family and kind of, you know, their struggles and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's the inspiration came from a couple different places. One being a musician, having my dream that I'm chasing, and also trying to relate to everybody who is chasing a dream.
Right.
Because yeah, you know, there's a lot more work that goes into it with anything than what people usually see.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like they say, you know, when somebody gets famous and they say, oh, they were an overnight success, and it's like, well, there's really no such thing. You didn't see everything they had to do to get to this point. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's really cool, and like I said, the video's really great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, do you want to play another one of these? We can play one of these studio tracks, these new ones that you have.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to do that.
I'll let you pick.
Yeah, the next one that I'm planning to put out there is a song called Porch Light.
Okay.
Yep, and it's kind of a funny love song.
And were these all done in Nashville?
Yes, these were all done in Nashville.
Cool,
Yep.
cool. All right, we'll give this a listen. This is Porch Light from Dakota Smart. Check this out.
I think that I really gonna messed it up this time. you don't want me in the house tonight. I guess it looks like I'm sleeping outside. If you hear me in there, I forgot my boots over by the stairs, and I'm standing on the porch, singing over these chords to show you that I care. I'll be out here all alone, standing waiting in the cold for a second chance to treat you right. And I know I was out of line, and to let you down this time, I'll be singing if it takes all night. So honey, open up this door, I'm waiting for you underneath the porch light.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, that's good. Porch Light by the great Dakota Smart, who has joined us live in studio here on the program. And I got to say, I love your voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really, really good. And you're getting some love in our chat room, too. DJ Steve, who joins us Friday nights for Retro Spectrum Radio, says, hi, Matt and Jenny. Great show so far. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, one of our great sponsors, says, really like this. Isaac Banks says, good song, Matt. I'm listening to you right now. Dakota Smart is the best. JFed from the great state of Vermont says, I like that. And Isaac Banks says, awesome song. I love it. Very nice. Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
So we were talking, and you're going to play something live for us.
Yeah, I was, this song has been one that's very near and dear to my heart. One of the reasons why is it's been so much fun to play this one out live. And this is a song about just being a musician on the road, playing show after show, night after night. And it's called Killing It. So yeah.
All right.
I'm going to give this one a go.
By the way, before you do that, I just want to tell you, someone named Lori Smart is in the chat room. A relation, I assume?
Yes.
And Lori says, go Dakota. So very good.
That's awesome.
Very good.
I'm gonna end up running out of town so I don't get stuck. Head on my shoulders couldn't get me far, putting all these miles on a beat up car. Chasing for the gold, that still I got bronze. Street might know me for a minute till I'm gone. Kiss me in the backseat, riding in the taxi. Lose me, love me, leave me, but I'll still stay strong. Hey, hey. These days it's been going that way. Hey, hey. Show me what I gotta do to get paid. Hey, hey. Ain't no more waiting for change. If it's happening, it's happening. Ain't no going back again. Show me where to sign dotted lines and I'm killing it. Give a little taste, but it can't stay. Rebelling man never changes ways. Over these hills till I reach the next stage, living that nomad lifestyle thing. Doing what I love, but I call it work. My heart's in the lyrics so I don't get hurt. Now they say they know me and they're a bunch of phonies. Never gave a damn till my songs got heard. Hey, hey. These days it's been going that way. Hey, hey. Show me what I gotta do to get paid. Hey, hey. Ain't no more waiting for change. If it's happening, it's happening. Ain't no going back again. Show me where to sign dotted lines and I'm killing it. Hey, hey. These days it's been going that way. Hey, hey. Show me what I gotta do to get paid. Hey, hey. Ain't no more waiting for change. If it's happening, it's happening. Ain't no going back again. Show me where to sign dotted lines and I'm killing it.
Very nice. Very nice.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
If you're just joining us, Dakota Smart is live in studio with us here, and just played one of his new songs. And that one's not out yet, correct?
No, that one's not out yet.
The studio version. Yeah, really, really good. You've got let's see, Lisa Mackenzie Rodriguez, if I'm saying that correctly, says awesome song. Porch Light, amazing voice, Dakota. You're killing it. Very nice.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep. DJ Steve says that was very cool. Really liked it. And Isaac Banks says, "Go Dakota, you rock." Very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for the love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have anything for Dakota, the studio line is open 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. If you have any questions or feedback or anything at all. And how many, do you have any idea how many songs you've written in total? You said you wrote 100 in 2020 alone. So I think you'd said,
wow. Man, that's a hard question to answer.
it's gotta be in the hundreds, right?
Oh yeah. So I think, I started writing when I was like 10 years old. So
yeah,
I'm guessing I've probably forgotten more songs than anything. I've probably written at this point probably close to 300, 400 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot. Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Oh.
It's I will say one of my biggest inspirations is Ed Sheeran, and one of the reasons why is because he's an amazing songwriter. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he actually talks about his early songwriting, and he's like, everybody thinks it's like something you're born with, and he's like, no. He's like,
right.
He's like, no. He goes, it's something you have to put the 10,000 hours, and you really have to. You just have to keep writing and keep writing. He's like, it's like turning on a faucet. At first, he's like, you're gonna get the dirty water until it finally starts to run clean, and I think that's really just a beautiful way of looking at it, because it's really all in your control. Mm-hmm. Like, to anybody out there who really wants to write music and wants to write good music, it's all in your control. It all is just in the time that you put into it.
Right.
And I think that's just a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Do you I assume the first song you ever wrote, I assume there's no version of that continues to exist, or
no?
No,
there is not.
I had somebody, a singer-songwriter on the show recently, Lou Antonucci, I think you say his name, and he surprised me. He's an older guy, and he's got decades of songs, and he said the first song he ever wrote, he actually still he played it on the show. I was like, wow,
that's awesome.
It was really good too, and I said, wow, you started out pretty well.
Yeah.
Now, are you playing out a lot? You doing a lot of shows?
Yeah, so that's my full time right now is playing live shows.
Excellent. Is it always just you, or do you collaborate with anybody? Do you ever have a band, or?
Once in a while I'll collaborate with friends or play with a band, but most of the time it's just me.
Okay. Tom Blanchard is in the Facebook live chat and says that was great and gives a big thumbs up. Very good. And when you play, do you do like a full night? Like, do you go somewhere and do like a 3-hour? Because obviously you have a lot of music.
Yeah, I'll usually be doing. My average gig is usually 3 hours, sometimes 4. I have done a 5. I don't recommend it.
Really? Yeah, that's a Springsteen type show there. Wow.
Yeah, it's this summer's been amazing. I want to give a big thank you to all the venues who have been, having me come out and play shows for them. It's been absolutely amazing. I think I started with 50 dates for the summer when I got back from Nashville this year, and I think, looking back at it for the total year, I think we're getting close to 100 now.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been, sometimes 3 gigs a week. I think I've been averaging this summer close to 3 gigs a week, sometimes up to 5. Sometimes 5 gigs in 4 days.
Wow.
Having multiple gigs a days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the show where you had to play for 5 hours?
That was me and a buddy. We were playing for I think it was called Harborfest in Maine.
Okay.
And we had to play for 5 hours. Luckily, that show we were able to kind of take a break each and have the other one play a couple of songs, and then we'd switch off a little bit, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was my 5-hour show. Also, actually, no, I did have a private party that was 5 hours as well, but I took a couple of long breaks to even it out.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And how did you learn to sing? Are you self-taught, or did you take lessons? Or
So I actually, when I was younger, I started singing in church. Actually, that was the first place that I started to sing. And my parents are very musical. My dad, he plays in a band. He's a bass player and a guitar player, and my mother is a drummer.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I come from a very musical family.
Yeah.
And so that was my first experience of singing just in public. And then after that, I really, like, any chance I could, talent shows, anywhere that I could get up on stage, I would get up on stage.
Yeah. Your dad plays in a band currently?
He actually plays in a band. I think they're going their separate ways right now. But he's been playing in a band for the past few years called Marcy Drive.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I've heard of Marcy Drive.
Yep.
And your mom's a drummer. Does she play currently at all? Or?
She once in a while she'll play, but she usually doesn't play out live. So it's if we're all hanging out or we're going and watching a show and hanging out with friends and whatnot, she'll come up and play a couple of songs.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, she actually, because of the fact that I grew up having a drum kit in the house, I actually was self-taught. Just picked up the sticks and started learning how to play drums.
Yeah. Oh wow! Are you a good drummer?
I don't know. Yeah. Actually, so I mean, I guess I can sit in with most bands and play a set. But to me, like, I wouldn't say that, like, it's my strongest instrument.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm proficient at it. Like, I can sit in with a band and play some tunes. But my inspiration is, people like John Bonham and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's interesting to me that you mentioned having a drum set in the house because of your mom, because a topic of conversation that's come up on the show recently with a lot of our guests is, it seems like most drummers I know, they're in multiple bands.
Yeah.
Because drummers are in such high demand because it's hard to find drummers. And I always say, my theory about that has always been that most kids, when they're growing up and they first start getting interested in music and they want to learn a musical instrument, when they go to have that discussion with their parents, if they say, I want to play drums, the parents are usually like, oh,
they're like, oh no.
Right. Nobody wants all the racket and everything, that, and, the tuba, another thing that would be loud and annoying. But, so, that's always been my theory about why drummers are in, because, like, most drummers we have on the show, they're like, yeah, I'm in like 10 different bands. And, but in your case, you actually grew up with a drum set in the house because of your mom. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's why drum kits are usually put in the basement, so that if you are playing the drums, it tries to keep the noise volume a little bit lower.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever write with your parents at all? Ever write a song with them, or?
I've never, like, sat down and wrote a song with my folks, but they definitely give me a lot of ideas, and they're usually the first ones to hear one of my songs when it's done.
Yeah.
And because of the fact, like, my parents are very supportive, and I'm very, very grateful for how supportive they are of the music. So a lot of the times when I get done with a song, I usually go, hey, you guys want to hear this and check this out? And they'll give me an honest opinion on it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times they have some really great opinions.
Really?
Yeah. So it's, I mean, it makes sense. They know you the best out of anybody.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Well, we should, you want to play I could play another studio track.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see. What haven't we, I think we have one, or actually we have a couple we haven't played, right? What should we play next? I'll let you pick.
I'm thinking, I got to remember what's on there.
You gave me Blue-Eyed Crazy, which we haven't played, and and I guess that's it, because you played Killing It, and we played Porch Light. So
yeah, we'll spin that track.
Blue-Eyed Crazy, all right. And anything we should know about this before we play it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because just by the title, it sounds like there might be a story.
Oh, there is. There is. Yeah, this song has been a lot of fun writing wise. There's a lot of songs where, like, you start writing it and it just becomes, an hour goes by or maybe 2 hours, and then sometimes you're like, all right, I'm gonna shelf this and just leave it, right? This song was like the total opposite. It was like the first verse and chorus came to me really quickly, and I was playing it on guitar, and I actually had the idea of, like, all right, I'm like, in my heart, I'm a songwriter, and I wanted to try and sit down and write a song for somebody else. So the first verse and the chorus just flew by, and then I shelved it because of the fact that I had to run. I couldn't finish the song right then and there.
Yeah.
And like a few months later, when I was in Nashville, I was going through songs to record, and I was like, wait a minute. I stumbled upon the like little phone recording I had of this.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, I really want to finish this and see what it would sound like. And I switched it from guitar to the piano.
Yeah.
So this is actually a piano track. I'm playing the piano on this song.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, this is one of my favorite songs for the piano part. Like, I'm really proud of this one. But I got done writing it, and I reached out to my producer. So the guy who produced my songs in Nashville, his name is Lowell Reynolds.
Okay.
He's a Grammy nominated producer. He's really, really amazing, really fun guy to hang out with, and really fun in the studio. And when I sent him this, I said, hey, I really want to get this onto the list of songs. And he goes, I don't know, man. We kind of already had a set of songs. And then he listened to it and he goes, yeah, we got to record this.
Yeah.
But this song was one that, like, I feel like the best songwriters are the best listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you're someone who can listen to someone else's story and then put it into words and relate to other people with that, as well as your own, I feel like that's just really one of the measures by that you're a really good songwriter.
Yeah.
And I just want to challenge myself with this. So I took inspiration from a lot of other, friends of mine who are in relationships and, some of my own relationships in the past, and kind of just pulled them together and created the song. But yeah.
All right. Very cool. So this is called Blue Eyed Crazy from Dakota Smart.
That is hopeless, open, other doors will open, falling for your eye. All the vows you made are broken, and you leave the options open for your victims to crawl back. I feel like every other to you, just another number for the tally ride. Maybe when you're older, all the pain you made me shoulder will finally find its way back. Shut down by you, knocked down by your pretty little blue-eyed crazy. Had a thing for you, bought a ring for the one I thought would be my baby. Can't forget what you put me through. I guess it's just a blue-eyed crazy in you.
I think you got a hit song there, Dakota.
Thank you.
I'm not kidding. That's really good. That is Blue Eyed Crazy from Dakota Smart, who has joined Jenny and I here in studio. That's Dakota right on the couch there for those of you watching online. And yeah, that is Blue Eyed Crazy. Great track. If you have any questions or anything for our guest, Dakota Smart, the studio line is open, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. So how did that come about, your connection with, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the producer you mentioned.
Lowell Reynolds.
Lowell Reynolds. How did that come about?
So we actually, we're looking for somebody to produce the songs that I was wanting to record down in Nashville. And we just reached out to Blackbird Studio and we said, hey, who do you guys recommend? And they gave us the name Lowell Reynolds. And after, just looking up some of the stuff he's done, and also just, getting on the phone and talking to him, I said, man, this is a really cool guy. I really want to, work on some songs with him.
And then what was the process like of getting started? Did you have to send him some demos and see what he thought? Or
yeah, so what we did to start was we went through a bunch of demos, and we were kind of just shooting ideas back and forth. And by the way, this time frame was like a few months from the actual time that we got started talking and then actually went in the studio. So we had a lot of time to play around with ideas. And by the time I got to Nashville, it was kind of crazy because it was like I had so many things that I wanted to do and so many just people that I had reached out to, and I was like, hey, I want to play at this venue. I want to write a song with you, and it's just crazy. Like, I think one of the hardest things is like trying to schedule your time, especially in that situation. So when I got down there, we ended up having to just find a time to get together and do pre-production. And I think it was one of the first things we did. So we did pre-production, and that was really, really cool because it was like one of the first times that we were able to sit down and like really take a deep dive into these songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just talked about sounds. We're like, hey, what's your inspiration here? And what do you think the drum kit should sound like? And what kind of guitar sounds do you like? And I just, just unloaded my whole creativity, like vision on him about everything. And he gave me his ideas and whatnot. It was really awesome. So, I mean, especially when it came to like the drum kit, when it comes to toms, I like a muted tom sound. So like kind of like the Beatles, they'd put tea towels over the toms.
Oh, is that how they did it? I didn't know that. Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. So I was like, man, we got to do that.
Yeah.
If the Beatles did that, I got to try it. I got to see how that sounds.
Yeah.
And we actually did that on the drum kit for all of these songs. I think all of them. I got to remember correctly. But anyways, just stuff like that, like getting right down into the nitty-gritty of what we wanted the kick drum to sound like, all the way to all the toms, and should the guitar be more, should it be more bright? Should it be a little bit darker? Do you want electric here? Do you not? And how do you want to play your piano part? So that was really, really cool.
It's interesting that you mentioned drums because I have been saying for years that I feel like as far as how drums should sound, like I don't listen to a lot of country, but occasionally, but my observation though has been with quote unquote new country is Nashville really figured it out as far as how drums should sound.
Yeah. I think what's hard about it is that everybody has a different idea on what the drum kits should sound like.
Yeah.
And to me, I mean, I think it's just because I'm an old soul. I love a lot of the older sounding kits.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the tone and the texture to them, but I want them to to be present on the track.
Right.
So like I like a kick drum that's present, that really has that's something that like you feel it.
Right.
Sometimes more than you hear it.
Yes, exactly.
And I love that. I love toms that dead sounding tea towel toms. I feel like because of the fact that there's so much going on a track, sometimes having something that rings out, like those toms that ring out really far, I just feel like sometimes it just ends up becoming muddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, it's like that kind of dead sounding 60s style drum. It's so present and it's so crisp when you hear it.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that a lot of people, it's something that was really popular in the 60s, I feel like it's something that can kind of come back into style today.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, obviously, so your music isn't certainly isn't country, but how do you describe it to people who haven't heard your music?
So I have inspirations all over the board. Like I grew up, the first genre of music that I really wasn't like fell in love with as a kid was blues. Like I used to listen to B.B. King all day, and I loved that. My dad got me into B.B. King, and then later on I went from B.B. King to what was the artist? Stevie Wonder. I went from B.B. King to Stevie Wonder, and then I got a little bit more into rock and roll as high school hit.
Yeah.
And also I had a phase where I was really into Coldplay.
Yeah.
Actually, this is good to note. When I was younger, the song that made me want to start writing music was Clocks by Coldplay.
Oh, no kidding.
And the reason why is I was a little kid. I was watching a movie and I heard the song Clocks in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me feel something.
Huh.
And I just said to myself, I want to make people feel something like that song made me feel something.
Yeah.
And that was actually the thing that, believe it or not, that got me like just started writing. And then I went from like that kind of stuff into folk. And I really love folk. I think from a lyrical standpoint, I'm very much a folk writer.
Yeah.
I like to write stories. And I also have a very heavy rock influence.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do have some country influences. I mean, I really love Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And I love a lot of the more roots country stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of the artist Zach Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But I've really gotten into a lot of his music. And I feel like lyrically, that's like my bread and butter. I like stuff that is just honest,
Yeah.
And that's kind of my inspiration. So I'd say that I'm folk rock with influences of country.
Okay.
And Yeah, the story of how I got into to Johnny Cash was pretty funny. My grandfather was a truck driver, but he passed away when I was 3, so I never really got the chance to meet him and know him.
Yeah.
And one day I was hanging out, I after school talking with my dad, and he said, "Hey, do you want to know what your grandfather used to listen to?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to know what he used to listen to." And he showed me the song "Boy Named Sue."
Yeah.
And I laughed so hard listening to that. That's just such a funny song.
Yeah.
And I listened to it on repeat. And after that, I was hooked. I was a Johnny Cash fan.
Yeah.
And I mean, that happened. I was probably like, I got to say 12 or younger, something like that when I first, yeah. So he's been an influence from a young age.
Okay. And by the way, too, so we were talking while the off air, while the song was on, Blue Eyed Crazy, you were talking about the piano part,
Yes.
the solo there.
Yeah. So that was, the solo in that song, is probably my favorite solo I've ever done, period.
Yeah.
And it took me, it actually, what's funny is that, I'd be in the studio and Lowell would be talking to me behind the glass, and I would do a solo, and then he'd be like, "All right, do one more." And I do another one, and he'd go, "All right, I don't know, man." He goes, I don't think that was the one." And then he just kept playing it back until he looked at me and he goes, "Yep, all right, we got it."
Yeah.
And at that point, I couldn't remember half the other takes.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
But I just had to trust, his judgment and being like, knowing when we got the actual, like, that's the solo.
Yeah. What's cool about it too is it fits the song so perfectly, but you kind of don't see it coming.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's what's really cool about that track is that a lot of songs, they go for the guitar solo. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my first instrument was a piano, and I want to highlight that. Even though a lot of the times when you see me playing originals today, a lot of the times I will be playing the guitar.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to highlight all those years of playing piano and all those years of playing with bands and doing solos. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I really want to have something like that. So yeah, we gave it a try and luckily it fit. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Lisa Mackenzie Rodriguez in the chat room says, "Very cool. I love the beat and your piano playing is amazing. All of these songs are big hits. Way to go, Dakota, from 2 of your biggest fans."
Thank you so much.
Rhonda Favero says, "My favorite drum kit was a North. They are shaped like horns."
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Now, what's the status of so the songs that we've been playing? These are not out yet. Do you know when they're going to be coming out? Or
so we're looking at releasing Porch Light at the end of next month.
So that'll be the next single?
Yeah, that's going to be the next single, and then we're going to take a break through December from releasing anything because I feel like December people are getting into the Christmas spirit and whatnot, and I don't I want to kind of take a break from releasing music and then just hit it hard in 2024.
Yeah.
And a lot of these songs are going to be coming out in the beginning of 2024. I think I'm looking at maybe doing a song a month or maybe, every 6 weeks or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot, like, this is 4 songs out of 10 and 4 of them are a full band. We actually, the song Killing It is one of the acoustic ones. So I want to bring a variation today.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about doing an EP of acoustic songs because 6 of those songs that I recorded down there are acoustic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's I'm really excited about it because these are so much different compared to anything that I've ever written before.
Really? Yeah.
And it's just a whole new, like, I feel like a whole new chapter for me as a songwriter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is some of your earlier stuff online if people want to hear?
Yes. So the first album that I ever put out was actually in 2022. It was an album called Leap of Faith.
Okay.
I felt like that was pretty fitting for my first album.
Yeah.
And another thing is like these albums, I play shows all summer and I save up money to go and record.
Yeah.
And so the first album, when I chose, I was like, man, I really need to put something out that is like a big body of work. I put out Leap of Faith, and I called it Leap of Faith because of that, because it really was. It was a huge leap of faith to be like, hey, you're going to take all this time and this money and you're going to invest it in yourself. And what's cool about that is all of those songs in Leap of Faith were actually written when I was in my teens.
Oh, no kidding.
And then we had to postpone the release of the album because of COVID.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I wanted to have a release party.
Yeah.
And I wanted to actually do a show. So we ended up waiting. We ended up waiting almost a whole year.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we couldn't find a venue in the peak of COVID that was willing to do a release party, which made sense. We weren't.
Yeah.
So we waited, and once we found a place, it was great. People from my hometown, they all came out to see me play, and I'm so blessed for that. It was amazing.
And will there be a video for Porch Light?
Yes, there will be a video. Actually, that's really funny that you asked that, because the video for Porch Light is a combination of videos that we took in the studio.
Oh, okay.
So it's this is the coolest thing about the Porch Light video, is that it's gonna be really a big behind the scenes of this is what went into creating this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna be really cool to get people's reaction to that.
Oh, excellent. We've got a little bit of time left. Did you want to play one more on your guitar, or not to put you on the spot? But
I could. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear you play some more.
Awesome.
Yeah, whatever you want to play. And
I think if anything, I'd be willing to do a cover for you.
Sure. Yeah, if you'd like. Yeah. Nice.
That was great.
Dakota Smart. Who does that song?
So that is Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan.
Oh, okay. Wow, great tune. And,
Thank you. Yeah, that's usually something that I play on piano. So if you ever come to see me play live, you'll hear me cover that on the piano.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good on that guitar, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We are almost out of time, but of course, you've got the website, dakotasmart.com.
Yep.
And so people can find all your music and your social media through there. And what do you have now? Do you have any shows this week that you want to plug? You got anything you're playing out this week?
Actually, that is a good point. I do have one on Saturday coming up at the Front Four Cellars. Actually, I should check my schedule. I want to make sure I get this one right.
Yeah. Where is that? Front Four?
Wolfboro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that's up by the lakes.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful area. That's a nice place in the summertime.
Yeah, I'll look and make sure that I have the right time.
Yeah.
So it is going to be on Saturday, the 28th. It is going to be Front Four Cellars, and I'm going to be starting at 5:00.
Excellent.
And that is in Wolfboro.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you guys want to find me on social media, you can find me at Dakota Smart Music, and that is on everything. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, even TikTok as well.
Excellent. Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. This has been amazing.
Yeah. I actually forgot one last thing to mention. I should have mentioned this earlier.
Sure.
I'm actually going to be playing this year at the New England Music Awards on November 12th.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's the tickets for that are actually for sale on the New England Music Awards website. So if anybody wants to come and see me play live on the New England Music Awards stage November 12th, I'm going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. Excellent. Miriam Banish in the chat room says, glad I was able to listen long enough for a song. I missed someone. I was at an appointment. Well, of course, if you missed anything today, Miriam, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. Paul Murray in the chat room says, great interview. Glad you liked it. Lori Smart says, I love the way he performs the cover Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan, but we love his originals even more. Absolutely. Will Vegas from Will's Auto Care is in the chat room and says, Dakota is really good. Long day at the shop, and his music really helped me out today. Excellent.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
And Lori Smart says he's a 5-time nominee for the New England Music Awards. You're humble. You didn't mention that you were a 5-time nominee. And Julie Murray says, enjoyed watching this show. Thank you so much. We got to wrap up. Jenny, did you want to plug your website?
Of course. You can always check me out at jencoffey.com. JenCoffey.com.
Dakota Smart, thank you again, my friend.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll leave you with a little more of this.